Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Beyonce's daddy has said if Beyonce was dark-skinned, she would not have had as much success as she has had by being light-skinned. The link for this article will be in the description. So, Beyonce's dad says her career took off over Kelly Rowland's because she has lighter skin. People, you are not going to believe this. Beyonce's father is laying it all out there about skin tone and the perception of race and color in American society. He's not afraid to name names and having a tough conversation either. Matthew Knowles went on the Clay Kane show on Sirius XM this week to chat about working in the music industry for the last 15 years, specifically to discuss how segregation and colorism are still very much at play. At one point during the show, Knowles acknowledged a hard truth he learned and seen firsthand in the industry, that light-skinned black women tend to fare better than darker-toned singers, particularly when it comes to top 40 radio airplay and success of their respective singles. Knowles said, in the music industry, there is still segregation. Programmers, especially at pop radio, have this imagery of what beauty looks like. If you look back even at Whitney Houston, if you look at those photos, how they lighten up her skin to make her look lighter complexioned. Because there's a perception and a colorism. The lighter that you are, the smarter and more economically advantaged. There's a perception all around the world about color. Even with black folks, there's a perception. It's a tough reality to admit, but racism is unfortunately very real in today's society. We can't turn a blind eye to it if we're ever going to get out of these dark ages, so to speak. And it's not just Whitney Houston, it's happening right now and today. And Knowles was quick to note that his own daughter benefited from some of that same colorism, particularly when it compared to her former Destiny's Child contemporary, the dark-skinned Kelly Rowland. I think Beyonce would have it would have affected her success to have a darker skin tone. And I use Kelly Rowland as an example. She's a great example. But you know, the great thing is Kelly did exceptionally outside of America, especially in Australia. Kelly sold over 4 million records. She just got off strip. The elder Knowles may really be onto something there too, especially because Kelly herself has acknowledged the same situation regarding skin tone. Back in a 2013 interview with CNikki.com, Rowland admitted there was a period where she was very insecure about her chocolate look, especially compared to those around her with lighter skin. Rowland said at the time, and I quote, "You know what, I had great women in my life to help me overcome that. I remember I went through a period where I didn't embrace my chocolatiness." I don't know if that's a word, but I didn't embrace my chocolate lifestyle. Just being a chocolate, lovely brown-skinned girl and being proud of that. I remember Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, and I remember being out in the sun. I was trying to shield myself from the sun. And she said, "Are you crazy?" She said, "You are absolutely gorgeous." And she just told me how beautiful I was and how rare chocolate is and how gorgeous the skin is. All of this stuff. And I was just like, yeah, like a light went off. So between her and me, her and my mother, and then me sitting out in the sun a little more, just to be a little more chocolate, you just embrace it. You embrace everything that you are as a woman, even your flaws too. So, even more interestingly to think about how much the public perception of these amazing, talented women has been affected by something that should be so insignificant like skin tone. But it's facts. So, let me tell you something. Now, this has been going on, people, since slavery. Now, what happened during slavery? Black people were taught to hate each other. You had a such thing as the house slave, which was a lighter tone, and the dark slave got treated a little better. Let's move on a little bit, shall we? under slavery, we're singing free at last. Thank God I'm free at last. The civil rights movement. And niggas are calling themselves niggas. But we're in a world where the media has made this picture of the dark-skinned black person as being evil and the light-skinned black person as being better in a sense. And that's all because that's what they call reverse racism. And there's also hatred within your own race, which the great Louis Farrakhan spoke highly of, how it was programmed for black people to hate themselves. And for a lot of my black people, they need to really do their research when it comes to reverse racism and light-skinned and dark-skinned people, because a lot of people think that because your skin is light, you are mixed with white, which is absolutely 100% not true. You have a lot of people. I'll take Steph Curry, for example. A lot of people thought that he was biracial because he was very light-skinned. His mom and dad are full-blown African-American black people. Vanessa Williams has very light skin, and her mom, and she has blue eyes. And it's a thing that you can find a dark skinned person with blue eyes. And the thing about black people genes is that you can get two dark skinned people and they have a light skinned baby, because it could come from someone down their family line. Like the baby could have the traits or the looks of their aunts, grandma, cousins. Is that the black gene is like a multicolor gene, which you have light skin, dark skin, brown. We like ice cream. It's a variety of choices. Caramel, as you can see with these two. You have chocolate, and then you have like Beyonce, a lighter caramel complexion. Now, and black people were quick to call someone that's way lighter than them, you know, you biracial, or oh, you getting treated better because you light, and all that bullshit. But really, it's just reverse racism, getting you to hate one another. When at the end of the day, if a cop pull you over, you a nigga. He don't give a damn. You light skinned or dark skinned. Black people are the only people that's stubborn enough to eat that shit up and become jealous of one another because of dumb shit. But your blood at the end of the day gonna say that you a nigga. Believe that. Now back to this point at hand. So the media and television will always use that to make money off of, because of stereotypical shit. Like I said, it goes all the way back to slavery days, where they treated the lighter slave better than the black. And since that day, they always looked at lighter skinned African Americans as being more educated, more smarter, more marketable, and more beautiful. And we can look at it. You look at Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Beyonce. You can't really, I mean, unless you in the rap game, something that just you don't have to be beautiful to be. You see a lot of dark niggas in the rap game, because rap is an uncut, unfiltered. You don't need shit to sell records, but you need to be hardcore for rap. You need something that's dark, grimy. You need that. It's not a beauty contest, people. Let's put it that way. But when it comes to beauty, they absolutely use lighter people. And Matthew Knowles had a point, a very good point. Now, do I think Beyonce would have been as successful? No. Because there are a lot of talented dark-skinned people that I think that should be at the top of the R&B. Well, if that still exists, singing, let's say top singers like Fantasia. I think that she should have been got a way bigger push, because I thought she had a lot going for her vocally, and I thought that she was hella fine, and I just didn't see nothing, but they just kept giving her this gold status. She never was pushed to like being this super duper star, you know what I mean? like a Beyonce. It's a lot of women that got overlooked, but you see the ones that they put at the top. So until we stop dividing within each other, you know, and start pushing and loving ourselves as one, regardless of if you are just a little bit lighter or a little darker, that shit don't matter. Because you better remember, like I said, at the end of the day, you die, they gonna clamp on your toe, nigga. African American, you go to jail today, the cop pull you over, he don't care how light or dark you are a nigga in his eyes. You will be black. So cut that bullshit out. Get together, black people. You need to reunite, because you don't catch Hispanics tripping off of which Vato is darker than the other, Puerto Ricans or Chinese. So they know at the end of the day, they are one. We are one, people. And as long as we continue to show that separate way of not loving one another, the media will be like, well, we could just put the light-skinned person as, this is the pinnacle at the top of being successful. Look, because we know there are people that's darker than Beyonce that has more talent, probably. It is what it is. But you know, when it comes to beauty, that has always been like the top of the tier. Is you have to be light skinned, long hair, pretty. We know that when it comes to Hollywood or the entertainment industry. And will it change? You know, that I can't say, because we are in 2019, but it's not up to us to let them dictate what beauty is, but it is up to us to love one another. So like this video, leave your comment, share it on social media, and subscribe later.